185 Miles South, a hardcore punk rock podcast.
This episode was recorded on April 26th, 2019. Today I have Stuart Wilson, played drums for Never Met, also currently plays drums for Omega Point. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And Nard scene veteran. And this summer, this spring, when's the tape going to come out?
Probably the next couple months.
Okay,
I'll
so
say.
In the next couple months, he's going to put out a cassette compilation of 90s Nardcore bands. So that's pretty cool because going back to the first episode that we recorded here of 185 Miles South, we interviewed Joe Rivas, and a lot of you are probably like, who the fuck is Joe Rivas, you know? But it ties in with this stuff of Nard having such like a rad amount of bands in like the 90s that never got like any sort of exposure. So yeah, Stu's doing a comp. Does it have a name?
Yeah, it's called Reflections.
Reflections.
Yeah,
there you go.
After one of the best songs from that era.
Oh, with the Clenched Fist songs, right? So I thought what we do here, well, I don't know. Maybe actually we should let's do a little bit of current stuff first. Like, as I've explained on this podcast, I grew up in Oxnard, but I've actually lived in San Diego for the last 13 years. So maybe Stu can give us a current Nard scene report. What's happening?
What's happening? Dead Heat's happening.
That's right.
Dead Heat's happening. Dead Heat's out there. They're fucking playing all over the states. They're playing fests. They're putting out vinyl. They're putting Nard on the map. They're just doing it. They're like a freight train. They're unstoppable right now. It's fucking tight. And, Omega Point, we're trying to do it too, but we all have our lives, and we tend to those first. But
yeah, is there an age difference between you and the Dead Heat guys?
No, not really. It's like, I think a few of the members maybe are a few years younger than us, but we're all the same age. We've all been been in the same bands together for like the last 15 years.
Yeah, I've been so happy to like see them pop off. It's awesome, and maybe that's a Nard thing too, right? Like, it's not competitive because we're never really, I don't know, we're the scene 60 miles north, right? We're not trying to be like, not trying to be super popular, right?
No.
So in that, not that we don't want to be popular. We would love all our bands to sell 1 million records and have, sell out the Coliseum and shit. But my point is, I don't think there's like the jealousy that you'd have other places, right?
No, it's just accepting.
Yeah.
Like, we all give a shit about each other because we all come from the same place. And I feel like coming from Oxnard, or even just like around the 805, there's just like, you just get it.
Yeah.
It's like a special feeling, and you're all just kind of like, yeah, we're like doing this shit together. So it's like, it could be a fucking power violence band or a punk band or like a thrash band, whatever like subgenre you want to do. And it's all just going to end up being the same thing in the end because we're all from Oxnard.
Yeah. Yeah. The only time I can ever remember feeling like a little bit of that was when like Violation was getting flown around and shit.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, God damn, like that's nice.
Yeah,
like
right?
I'd like to go do these like short ass little tours and shit. But at the end of the day, it wasn't jealousy. It was just like, that's cool. And like, yeah, when Dead Heat started blowing up, it's like, fuck yeah, dude, just another one, like, because in my opinion, like, the kids in this area, they've always been there. Yeah. It's just been for someone to like, I don't know, like take it seriously isn't the right thing to say, but kind of roll out the band like with, I don't know, like you have to start out properly.
Exactly. I feel like they did.
Yeah.
They did. They just kept putting music out, and they knew how to do it right at this time period where how music is like accessible.
Yeah.
And so they just did it in that way at the right time, and like people were like just into it. I feel like more people were getting into thrash or like glorifying thrash, and they just kind of started the band at the right time.
Yeah.
Too, but Yeah, they just fucking did it right.
Yeah, and they rip.
Yeah, and
Right.
and they're good fucking musicians too.
Yeah, it's not like they're not a band where I listen to it and it's like, oh, like they're trying to like do this. It's like they just fucking they're trying to rock and knocking it out of the fucking park.
Yeah, they just rock.
So, yeah, let's dive right into reflections. Like, I love the idea of this thing. We should debate a little bit on the format, but why do you like Cassette?
I live in my van and I have a shitload of cassettes. I mean, I was gonna do a CD, but CDs are so whack.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, shoot, maybe I could throw you guys for a loop and press it because I'll have all this money because I'm not paying rent. And that'd be tight if I could get everything mastered properly.
Yeah.
Do a double LP or something.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, I don't know. I think Cassette is like it's cool for this, and I like the tie-in with like living in your van. I just it's the worst format. I remember like going on tour and having to like. We'd make because we just had a tape player in the van. We didn't even have like the CD player, you know, and you put in like the little plastic tape and then you could play your CDs, even though they'd skip and shit. But so we'd have to like make all our tapes in advance. It would like that's what I was doing like the month before tour is like making all these like mixtapes and like, oh, this band goes on this side, this band goes on this side, and then like you go on tour and like 5 days in, it's like I'm fucking burnt on this.
Yeah.
And then you like, I don't know, if having tapes for a long time, like other formats, like the quality doesn't degrade.
Yeah.
So like tapes, you know, like you get those old ass tapes that sound like they're underwater.
Yeah.
And shit, you know. So, but anyway, it's cool. It's been interesting watching like the resurgence of people enjoying them.
That's another thing.
You know?
Yeah, it's just people just like them.
Yeah, and they're cheap to press.
They're so easy.
And, vinyl's back so big and, like, the majors, like, globbed onto that all, like, the pressing plants are backed up, like 3/4 of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Rainbow?
Yeah.
Like, good luck.
Yeah, where, like, you're going to professionally press the tapes?
Yeah.
Is it, like... It's somewhere in the middle of the country. It's actually really cheap, and like the turnaround's like a couple weeks, right? Yeah.
I don't think anybody's like, oh, dude, you gotta put this on tape.
yeah. I mean, a little bit of it, right? But it's a bunch of people that are like, make me 100.
Yeah, exactly. Like short runs or.
Yeah, it's not like Beatles repress.
No.
So I remember I put out the first Somali Pirate 7-inch when we did that band, and like it was kind of an acquaintance that worked at Rainbow. And, you know, he's like, it'll be done in whatever he said, like, let's say 8 weeks or something, you know. So I give him like 10 before I start like bothering him, you know. And then it's like, hey, man, it's been like, 10 weeks. Are we getting closer, you know? And he'd be like, another week or so. I was just getting really fucking impatient. And like, I don't know, whatever it took, like, no big deal. Like, I'm not sour on the story or anything. But I go to pick up our records and like, when you get 500 records pressed, it's like 2 little tiny boxes.
Yeah.
And like, I go to pick them up and they're like put out in our little pile, like separated from everything else, like really professionally, like how they do it. And then just like next to us is like this like onslaught of like Beatles represses, like stacked like to the fucking stars. Like, it's like this like city of records, like just skyscrapers of records, and the stupid little Somali Pirate 7-inch, like 2 little fucking boxes that like the Beatles shit out. And I felt like so small, like to be like, dude, how did I even bother this guy?
Yeah.
Like I should have like just let him call me when they're ready.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're
like
stoked. It's a record. You're always stoked.
No, I know. And like, and I do believe that like, if you're a business, if you're gonna like take business and you say something, like you treat like the small clients like you treat the big clients.
Oh, for sure.
Right. So let's jump into this. We're going to start it off. It's just cool to go through it, right?
Yeah, dude.
I was thinking like, I'm not going to like ruin your,
oh, no.
Like you're not looking to like
It's
unveil it and people are like, oh there's
shit.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember that forever. No, go for it.
No, I think it's going to be fun to go through this and like,
yeah.
And then we're also going to find out that I'm a poser on a bunch of this Ventura stuff. So, all right, let's start it off with Burning Dog. That was Joe Rivas's band.
Yeah.
He was here for the very first interview that I did. And you went with the song Oxnard and the song Mumbles.
Yeah, I did Oxnard because I did the 99 version of Oxnard because they start with the Ill Repute intro.
Uh-huh.
I feel like that's a good way to kick it off. And then they go into like this badass, intense energy part.
Uh-huh.
It's just fucking tight.
I don't think I've heard that. The
dude,
99
so
version?
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah,
it
was on that
CD?
I think it was on the it was that CD one that with like the okay this time of feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
It was on that one.
I'm gonna have to like dig that up. You know, with you saying CDs are terrible too, like I also feel that. And they just like it's in the dustbins of history. Like I've said several times on here, like my favorite hardcore record probably in the 90s is the Powerhouse record, the first one, and it's like it didn't come out on LP and like people don't know about
with
it.
The Dice?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's like it's just the most ignorant record. Like, I mean, you as a drummer, like how that drummer's playing, like, because he's doing like the shitty like cheat punk beat, you know, like on the one and the two, you know, but then he's doing fucking the No Effects double kick. Like with it, like do that, 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 do that.
Yeah,
you know,
he just hauls ass.
Yeah, he's like hauling ass, opposed to like doing like, you know, the regular hardcore be like do that, do that, do that, do that, do that, do that, do that. He's like doing the No Effects and like the shitty punk beat at the same time.
I just think of the mouthpiece drums. Mouthpiece drums are the fucking worst.
That is the worst.
That's worse.
That's like, the worst.
The American Nightmare, early American Nightmare shit is like that too. It's like.
That's better than the mouthpiece. The mouthpiece like LP is like the apex of bad hardcore drumming.
Yeah.
And that's I always thought it was so funny because like people compared mouthpiece to Chain of Strength, and it's like maybe in like the way that like Tim the singer would like go from kind of like the lower talking to like the you know,
maybe
what remains, you know, like that's kind of like the Chain dude like going for it. But it's like what made Chain of Strength so great is fucking Chris Bratton like just fucking smoking on the drums.
Yeah,
you
know? The drumming on those records are all fucking good.
Yeah, it's like the drumming on Chain of Strength is like he's the greatest hardcore drummer of like the straight edge hardcore bands.
Yeah,
you know, and then like
Youth Crew band.
And then like Mouthpiece is like pretty bad, dude. Like
pretty bad.
Pretty bad. I mean, different sounding. Like it's an interesting sound.
I mean, no Youth Crew band sounds like them.
That's true.
But
yeah,
they're just like a '90s. They're like not even. They're like weird. It's like were they like the last Youth Crew band or like the first revival band?
No, they were like the band that kept it going like right after. So like of them, I don't know them, and then there was like another band called Half Mast, from Buffalo, and then I don't know who else you would say. Just like kind of in that gap, like between like 91 and like I don't know, the Tanner Fight demo is probably like 94, 95. You know, Floor Punch demo might have been 94. So in those years, like that's like Mouthpiece, and then I don't know. I mean, my favorite band of that like little short genre is Outspoken, but they're not like a fast Youth Crew band.
No, they're like mid-tempo.
Like but like non-metal.
No,
they weren't like a metal type band.
It's weird. They're kind of like mid-tempo.
Very like drivey.
Yeah.
You know, like I love that Verbal Assault album Trial, and like I think Outspoken is kind of like that. Like those are two of my favorite albums to like drive to. You know, like you know, like there's no traffic. It just feels good to like drive to those records, you know?
Yeah.
Plus the Outspoken, like this shit is fucking hilarious. Like to write, he wrote a song about how hard it is to be a pretty girl. Like
he was a girl?
Like, no, just like feeling the pain of like the pretty woman, you know? And like, I was like, dude, you totally wrote that song to fucking slay that OC trim, you know? Like, oh my God, dude.
I hope he did.
I know. I mean,
he probably did.
I hope he respectfully dated many nice girls.
Held her hand.
Yes. But that's a funny angle on a song, I thought. So Yeah, I can't remember that version of Oxnard. I remember the Oxnard from the demo, and like it's it's a cool mid tempo song, and also like it's funny because Joe is such like a worldly, intelligent, like warm. I would kind of consider him PC. Like he's a guy like measured with his words, but the words on the Oxnard song are not like PC.
No.
You know, I believe there's.
What if you think it's lame?
Well, and I believe there's a line that says, "Oxnard, we've got the loosest sluts. Oxnard, beaches strewn with seal guts." That didn't make it on the '99 version?
No, I don't know. I just remember he says like, what did he say? He says something about Ventura, and he's just like picturesque is just as shitty or something like that.
Okay. And then the second song, Mumbles, that's from the Localism comp.
Yeah, that first 7 inch, this Psycho Bible.
Yeah. I love that song. Oh, excuse me, guys.
The beginning of it.
It's good. Dude, yeah, that's like a very unique song. Like, it's a standout.
Yeah, dude, it's a good fucking song.
Yeah. Like, I think that's like really showing like they got that unique sound. Moving on, I do not know anything about this band, so we hit Zach's a poser on the second band already.
Dang.
Boilerman. Do you know anything about him?
Dude, it's Dobby Revis's band.
Oh! Boilerman is sick.
Yeah, dude, that band's fucking tight. They sound like, well, kids would love them now.
Mm-hmm.
They sound like Turnstile and like Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
And like Downcast.
Okay.
It's fucking tight. Or
yeah.
Not Downset.
Downset.
Yeah, Downset. It's like rappy, and he played bass and sang, dude, he rips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, fuck.
It's a good ass song. It's just tight.
In my defense, whenever Joe gives a history of Nard, like there's a million bands I never heard of.
Yeah.
And you can't take it all in.
Yeah. That's why I was like, dude, that was like the undertaking of this whole comp. I was like, oh, this would be cool to do like 20 songs or something. And then everyone was just like throwing all these songs. I'm like, yo, this is kind of a lot of bands.
Yeah.
And they're all good.
Let's jump into that a little bit. Like, it's mostly due to Joe and John Carrar being good at archiving, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just kept it all.
Yeah, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And they were two of the most important people, and
insane, yeah.
And so important for someone to archive like that, right?
Yeah. They just digitized everything and were good at organizing it.
Yeah.
And like pretty anal about it, seems like.
Yeah.
Which is like incredibly beneficial now. They just kept it all, and thank God.
I know, it's awesome. It was important. Like Fred put out a lot of good stuff at the time, and like that localism comp, like it was so important of like capturing like all those bands, but it wasn't like all inclusive because there was like a little bit of a rift between like Ventura and Oxnard at that time, that all the Ventura bands were represented, and that's why this comp is exciting. You know, it's like 20 years late, but
yeah,
I can't wait for it. Dude. So it's I don't know. I'm ready. I think it's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
Moving on, you got 2 Voice of Defiance songs.
Yeah.
And that's my old band, so we'll skip it. Same thing with In Control right after it. It Can Happen. Now, I should say that Voice of Defiance, we made the cut because we started in 96, at the end of 96. And we were playing shows in 97. In Control barely made it.
Barely. Like, I almost didn't put you guys on it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like after this, I want to do a 2000s one too. Because that would be sick. And you guys would be on that. But it's like, you guys barely made it. But I got to put the demo in there.
Yeah. The demo came out in, it would have been, I believe, October of 99. So we barely made it. Barely made it. And that's cool. The demo is like, it's a pretty different sound. I listened to it the other day. I don't know why. It's like clearing out my iTunes or some shit. And it's a fucking weird record. Like, I mean, I was 19 and I was like writing songs that I feel like were kind of complex, but I've just never had the knack for like making things sound how I want them to sound.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like there's no fucking distortion on that record. Like what the fuck? Like, and I wasn't. I definitely
a lot of songs.
Yeah, I wasn't going for like a Minor Threat like sound. So like, why am I going like no distortion? You know, like what the fuck?
I don't know.
And then like, you're right. There's a lot of songs. It's like I'm trying to write a fucking LP on the demo. Like, dude, this is a demonstration cassette. Like, put out 3 songs and shut the fuck up, kid. You know, it's all weird. Anyway, moving on. By all means, this is Roger, who plays guitar in Retaliate and plays with the Warriors and is super prolific. Played in No Motive. Just all around prolific dude. Does engineering out of the Bright Light Studios in Santa Ana, California right now. And yeah, by all means with the song Clutch. I loved this song.
It's a good song. Great 7-inch too. The art's sick.
The art's cool.
The art's cool. The dude from Yellow Card plays on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alex. I'd pronounce his last name wrong if I tried.
I couldn't even read it.
Yeah, so he he played in Yellow Card, and I might have this story wrong, but I'll tell it just for the sake of telling it. I think that the main Yellow Card dude, who's like the songwriter and everything, is the bass player.
Mm.
Okay? And so Alex also plays bass. And I think that like maybe that guy was like burnt out or something, and Alex played like for all the time that like he wasn't in the band.
Oh.
And then like they got really popular, and then like that guy came back like, "What up? I'm like back in my band." So like Alex got the boot. Like,
well, they're a big tour band, right?
Somewhere around here.
Because I always drive by Ocean Avenue.
Yeah.
But I feel like somebody said it's like, oh, there's an Ocean Avenue in TO too. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think that they're a TO band.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I don't know. They were like a ska band, right?
They had like a violin.
Yeah.
The dude that played violin did backflips. That's all I know about the band.
They might have like Bizarro Ventura. I don't know. They could have just been a conglomeration of everything. Like, they definitely weren't like an Oxnard punk band.
No, they weren't. But they kind of were like they were like, I don't know, pop punky.
Yeah, they were adjacent.
Yeah,
you know, punk rock adjacent. But yeah, by all means, it was cool. Roger played drums, and when he joined No Motive, he started by playing bass and then switched to drums. And he played drums for a stint in Retaliate, but he's a guitarist now. And this song is fucking sick.
It's guitar only in the beginning, and then just fast circle pits.
Does it start out with guitar only?
Yeah,
dude, because that's funny.
But like stringy guitar, like happy.
Oh, okay. Because I remember like being young in my first band. It doesn't matter. We practiced. Me and the drummer Kevin Herstein. We actually like were a 2-piece for a while. Because like before Todd Jones joined our band, it was like me and Kevin, and I had a Flying V, and I had like a death metal pedal, and like I was so heavy, we're like, dude, we don't even fucking need a bass player, like fuck that, you know, it's just more mouths to feed, you know, and so it was like me and Kevin, and I remember like we didn't know shit. It's all from like I wasn't even barely like going to punk shows yet, and like I just knew like, you know, really basic punk shit, you know, like you're like day one, you know, Bad Religions and like that stuff. Yeah. And anyway, so like I remember Pat coming over like one day and like trying to tell us, like Pat, the drummer from No Motive, coming over and like trying to tell us how to write a punk song. And he's like, here's what you do, dude. Every fucking song starts out with a guitar by itself. Then everything kicks in super fast, you know? And it's like what the fuck? Like every song starts like that, and then like I get the fucking No Motive 7-inch, and every single song of those 4 songs does start with a guitar by itself. You know, it all starts with like the riff, you know, and then it like comes in.
Yeah. Even
the fucking ska song, even fucking School Sucks starts like that, like just with the guitar by itself. You know, so. That's like
the breakdown demo. I think every song starts with bass on that.
Yeah, every single song starts with bass.
6 people.
Fucking kick it off. Yeah, All right, moving on to probably the best. Like it's the King Nard song of the '90s, right? Which is like the name of the comp.
Yeah,
Reflections.
yeah. That's like when I first heard that song, I was like, "Holy shit!" Because like this whole thing started, like I'd always wanted to put out a comp, and I got the localism comp, which that song's on when I was probably like 18, 19 from Grady's Record Refuge in Ventura, and I remember I put it on, and I was like, "Holy shit!" This song fucking hauls ass. There's like a melodic part, and then there's like the sickest breakdown in the end.
Yeah. And then there's like the most melodic solo over the breakdown.
Over the breakdown.
It's like, because they kick it in that breakdown, right? It's like, dirt, 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 or whatever, right? And it's like, holy fuck, like what could make this breakdown better?
So they just
how about Forrest shredding over the top of it? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I wanted to like have a cool name for the comp too. They call it like it was like To Live and Die in the 805 or like some shit like that. And then I was like Reflections because none of these bands are new,
right?
And it's like they're all like it just sounded right.
Yeah,
and that's like the best song too. Well, there's two best songs, but we'll get into that as we go down the list.
Okay, yeah, and that song like the drumming on it's amazing too, which is Pika just fucking killing it.
Oh no, Donovan.
Donovan's a drummer.
Coffee, yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
You verified. That's not Pika playing?
No, it's Donovan.
What the fuck, dude?
Come on, bro.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Well, I'm totally wrong then. I thought it was Pika for sure.
Nah.
Pika only played for FAY?
I think so.
Anyway. Well, Zach Poser number 2 move right there. I know. Fucking.
Now,
I know. You gotta tally it up. Let's see. Next up is, Jesus. Yeah, if we're talking about the best 90s songs, Repeater 800 with Quality of Life is the bass song, right?
Rips. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, song fucking rips, dude.
Yeah, I'd put that like in a fucking duel with Reflections. Like it's right up there.
I had to put them back to back.
Yeah. You didn't put them back to back. Oh, you could if you.
I might. We're just going down the list.
No, we're going down the list.
Yeah.
But dude, those 2 songs back to back, shit. That's the best. Then just quit. Like I don't know. Like I remember hearing that song on that Repeater demo and just being like, why don't you even fucking try? Like you could lock me in a room for fucking 5 years and I won't come out like writing a song this good.
Yeah.
Like
it's fucking good. The whole demo they did is good.
Yeah.
And the split with Mr. 23rd too. Like all those songs, they just like uniform choice, but like they just had that like that UC feel. And then like with that song, I don't even know how to like. I couldn't even put a name on it, like what it sounded like.
Yeah. Well, I think that the split is just the songs from the demo.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, because it's like way later. That 7-inch came out in like 99. And so they were a band probably in 96 or 97. So yeah, it's like after they were done.
Well, they were SYG with Fred.
Yes, and actually, if you're going to do that song Climb the Walls, that's the same song as the song on the comp.
Localism,
yeah, it's like the lyrics are just changed. Because, Fred's was Stop the Abuse. And then this one's Climb the Walls. He's singing about being in boot camp.
Yeah, he was a Navy dude, huh?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, so then after Repeater, we move on to this is like one of the most important bands of the 90s. And actually, like, they were raging, like, in a year I should have been going to shows, but I was hanging out with my high school girlfriend way more. So I missed like all the Dick Circus glory because I just discovered women. So yeah, Dick Circus, like they were like a huge drawing band in Nard in like 95, Nard and Ventura, like perennial headlining band. And John Carraro was the drummer, and he would step out of the shadows and sing for Missing 23rd. That ended up being like one of the most important bands of the area as well. Yeah, you went with the song Holy Rollers. Good song. First song on the 7-inch?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have the 7-inch.
I will try to dig. I think I only have one copy though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was I have the It's Alive version because I don't like drama. but we'll talk to. I'm going to talk to John Carrar tomorrow. We'll see if he wants to talk about any of that stuff. But yeah, my favorite song is the Curious George song. Did you get to listen to the whole thing?
I didn't hear that.
Dropped out of school, met Curious George and the man with the yellow hat. There's like sick drum fills on that too. It's like dropped out of school, met Curious George and the man with the yellow hat. It's like one of those ones where like Carrar is like hanging on, like he's like trying to do this fill, and it's like taking all his will, but he fucking nailed it, which is like epic because like I can't believe you can punch on drums anymore.
Yeah.
That shit is like stupid.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's amazing you can record and you can punch on the drums. For people that don't know what I'm talking about, like back when you used to record, like we've always been fortunate enough that we live in the future enough that you could like punch in on like playing guitar or whatever.
I don't punch in, dude.
But the fact that you can punch in on playing drums now is like crazy. The dumbest thing ever.
You can like insert like snare hits and shit.
Yes.
It's like like kind of takes the magic out of it because then you like fucking RKL, you have Bomber doing the whole Rock and Roll Nightmare LP with no scratch track, one take. The whole record.
I know.
It's like fuck.
I know, and now you have this like some schlub like trying to like he's like punching in on do that, do that, do that, do that, do that. Oops! Like take me from the second verse, Billy. Do that, do that, do that. Anyway, that shit is sorry, but yeah, I'll have to send you that. I love that song, and maybe you haven't printed anything yet, right?
No.
You got to consider sliding that song on
yeah.
too. That's like it's super super catchy, and Dick Circus is cool because I don't know either of the singers, but they had a guy singer and a girl singer.
Yeah, they're a 2-singer band.
Yeah, and that song is like where their voices like came together like really nicely, and like it works together, Anyway,
a lot of chick singers from the era.
Yeah, there's a lot of women. Well, Ventura was a very like political like crusty scene.
Yeah.
So like I don't know how much of that was like because I wasn't a part of it. I don't know how much it was like loving fucking profane existence opposed to like loving Bikini Kill. Like I don't know what's like the I don't know where it came from, but like it was awesome. There's lots of women and lots of women like fans. Like I knew like a fair amount of like punk chicks from Ventura because I went to Holly Beach School for elementary school, and then I went to EO Green for junior high. So we like met all the Wainimi people when we were going to EO Green, and like a lot of the like the punk rock girls from Wainimi, they like when they got to be like teenagers or right out of high school, they like went to Ventura. Like that was like a more like that was their scene.
Yeah.
Like I'm not kicking around here in Wainimi. Like we go to Ventura.
Yeah.
So
that's where the action is.
It's where the action is. It's where it's at. All right, moving on. Exxon 83. I remember this band. But I couldn't tell you anything about them. Ventura Crust Band.
Yeah, just fast. They're mad.
They're fucking mad, dude. They're fucking pissed.
They had two names. There was like Exxon 83 and there was... two names.
Okay.
So, Joe Reeves told me there's two names to that band.
Yeah, but yeah. Well, that's Joe Reeves is a walking like encyclopedia, right? He's gonna tell you like, well, that band started as this and this and this. It's like, yeah, X93, legit. This next band was like a powerhouse of a live band, and I don't think it came across on their recordings as well. But the band is Fixated, and you can just tell by the song title, like they weren't fucking playing. The song is called "Stab Me."
They're fucking tight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were a banger. Like I seen them play Skate Palace, and it was like, this band's a fucking force to be reckoned with. Like
Yeah.
you could toss them on any bill, and they'd be like a respectable band.
And they have a cool style too, because they do a lot of singing and like has like this weird like southerny kind of like vocal style.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just fast, and they have like pretty cool mosh parts too, and the drumming's really good too.
Yeah, they just seem like guys that like they knew how to play.
Yeah, exactly.
They liked to play, and they fucking played a lot. Like those guys probably like, let's get a fucking 12er and a pack of Reds and fucking sit around for all weekend and fucking
I think they're
just jam.
Yeah, they have like 15 songs. Like it's like a 15 song like demo or something.
Yeah. Did you get the whole 15 songs?
The whole thing's on YouTube.
Okay, I need to like grab that because I've only heard songs here and there, and like it doesn't hold up on recording as much as like it did in my head at the time. So
Members of Arch Enemy too.
Is that?
Yeah.
Okay, and we'll get to that because Arch Enemy is towards the end, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Moving on to The Goods. Now, see, this is the band that I remember having two names. Or maybe it was The Goods and it was X on AD. Because I don't remember. This was The Goods Bucks band?
I don't know.
Okay.
I wouldn't know the members.
Okay. Is this another Ventura Crust band?
This is another Ventura Crust band.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
They're just pissed.
Yeah, I think that they like The Goods like didn't sound crust enough, so they got a more extreme name next. Like The Goods, it was like too posse, like there's nothing good about the system,
but I mean,
man.
It sounds tight. It's like
The Goods,
like
it sounds pretty good. Like that's The Goods, man.
The Goods.
I know, but like
just like assault you.
It's too positive, dude. Like there's nothing good about this fucking system. There's nothing good about my parents. We gotta not be called The Goods.
No, the Bads.
I don't know. The Bads. That would have been sick.
That'd be tight.
That's like when Tony was in that band for a little while. They never recorded, called Impeached, and then like we took the band with everyone except for one dude, and we're like, "What do you guys want to call this band?" And we're just like, "Let's just call it Poached." Shit, we don't gotta think about it. So. But, yeah, that would have been good if they were called the Bads.
Yeah.
That would have been sick.
Be a good flip-flop.
Moving on to the Kings of Nardcore, Ill Repute. It's Real. What song is that?
That's off Big Rusty Balls.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big Rusty Balls, it's a cool album. I can't wait. I'm doing Tony tomorrow.
Sick.
And, yeah, I'm curious because, first off, they did Big Rusty Balls off a huge time break, right? Because what happens next is 84. They do like, I think they did another Halloween 7-inch like after that. And then like Transition is like a fake record. Yeah. And that's like 87, 88. And then
when did Omelet come out?
Almost just a comp of all other stuff. So yeah, Omelet's like, it's a comp of all their like comp recordings and so forth. So yeah, it's not a legit LP, and Transition wasn't either. Transition was like, literally those guys were just like jamming at Mystic, like working on stuff, and Doug put it out as an LP. It's like, it was
like a common theme with Nardcore. It's just like the dude that has the record label just puts shit out.
Well, it happened in No Motive.
Yeah, exactly.
Edge, Yeah, it's so fucked up. But yeah, so like in '93 they do it, and like they're kind of transitioning because there's songs that like Tony sings.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what does John do while Tony sings? Like, just chills.
Yeah.
Or I think he might have played guitar too on some of the songs.
I think so. There's some photos like floating around of like John on guitar and singing, and then ones of Tony just singing.
Yeah,
this is weird.
Yeah, it's like weird era that I can't wait to like get into because it's a good record.
Yeah, it's good. It's underrated as hell.
Yeah, it's a good record, but it had a chance to do well because it was on Doctor Strange, like right at the right time.
Right.
I think where opposed to their next record is like another one of like my unsung '90s favorites that like we've talked about on this show, which is Ill Repute Bleed. Came out in I believe '97, and like It is for 90s like Fat Wreck, Epitaph, punk. It is like awesome.
It's so good.
You know, because like you have that real like no effects lagwagony sound, like very melodic, hitting the octaves, and like the drumming, like the
Yeah, just fast and then good leads.
Yeah, good leads.
Great leads.
And then Tony's voice is so unique. It's like gravelly and fucking dirty, and it just sounds like like I don't know, it's fucking great. Like sitting on top of like music that's so like pristine and like curated as that like new school punk sound to like toss like I don't know, kind of like a Leatherfacey voice on top of it, like like a soulful, like heartfelt, like voice on top. It's like such a weird dichotomy. I love it. I wish it came out on vinyl. I think it would be like
CD one too. Huh?
That's a CD only. All the Edge records. The only vinyl that Edge ever did was that Burning Dog 7-inch.
Oh,
yeah,
dang,
yeah, because the No Motives were CD only.
That's crazy
as well. Yeah, so that's Ill Repute in the 90s, and well, they did the And Now, and I didn't really care for that record very much, but I should listen to it again. Do you ever fuck with that record?
I don't fuck with it, really. I just fuck with those two.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's just like a lot of information behind those two ones.
Yeah, there's like,
I think
these two records are like really interesting.
Yeah, that's why.
There's a lot to like sink your teeth into.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the last one, I don't know. It just doesn't grab me. Which is silly because like it's when Forrest and Joe are in the band. So it should be interesting.
I did not know that.
Yeah. That's Joe and Forrest playing Ill Repute.
That's tight.
Yeah.
Is Tony singing on that one too?
Yeah, Tony sings on that one too.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So this one, the Bleed one, they had this guy, I can't remember what band he was from. He was from a San Diego band. His name was Nashaya, but I don't remember his band's name. And he's like the lead guy. That's why there's all those fucking leads on Bleed. It's this guy Nashaya that's like, he was born out of the womb like playing a fucking octave. You know, like he doesn't know how to do anything else. Like that's like, I feel like his hand is like deformed like in that, like it's just like that. It's like I can't even play a chord. It's just like I only play an octave. Like, did you ever hear that band? They were on Teamwork Records in like the late 90s. They're called Atari.
No. The Youth Crew is?
Yeah. Just a generic Youth Crew band.
Yeah.
That fucking band, like every single, like on the verse and on the chorus, like one of those guitarists is playing a fucking octave. It's like the most like fucking annoying thing you've ever heard. Like, okay, dude, kick it. Like, okay, Iron Maiden fucking rips, right?
Yeah.
They could just be fucking blasting your face off like at all times, but they know how to like hang back and do a verse.
Yeah.
You know, so like so I don't need to listen to fucking Atari giving me a lead the whole time. You know?
Yeah.
But anyway. There you go. Moving on. Now we're to No Motive. Another huge band of the 90s, although the 90s with No Motive is like they're kind of like a different band because it would have been, well, no, because in 1999 that's when Sadness Prevails came out.
Yeah, that was like their big kind of like shoe in the door.
Yeah, it was like the first album of like of what the band is.
Yeah,
right. Like they're not like even though there were a couple fast songs on the record, and honestly, I think the record would have been better if they left those fast songs off. Because they still put like, right? They still had a couple fast songs on, and Sadness Prevails.
They had like one.
So What?
Yeah, that song is so tight.
The song's tight, and what's the other one?
I'm trying to.
The other one's better. The other one's better. It's all emotional. But anyway, no, like it's got like those like Jeremy and Max. They're doing like stuff on the guitar that like is like interesting. Like I don't know, it makes you have feelings and shit. You know?
Yeah.
Where like So What was their attempt at a hardcore song.
Right.
Like that was like I don't know, because No Motive is playing like late 90s. Like they got So What for the kids to mosh to, and then they used to cover a fucking Talk is cheap.
No way.
Yeah.
That's tight.
Yeah. They usually cover Talk is cheap, which was sick. Because, like, Pat's drumming on that, like, you know they did it because it was fun for Pat to play.
Yeah.
That's such a fun drum song to
Yeah.
play. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think your choices here are, like, great. There's so much no motive stuff in the 90s to work with. And you kind of, like, you definitely hit two of the more standout songs. And also, like, they both represent the band really well. True Reality was one of the songs on the No Motive Choice split.
Great. Yeah. Great split, too. The choice is sick. Were they from Simi?
Well, I don't know where they're from, but the guitarist, he worked at American Music forever. That one that's like in the ice skating center.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. It's obviously not there anymore. It's a fucking ice skating rink.
It's a fucking.
Or the whole thing is not there anymore. Jesus, he worked in there forever. That was American Music, I think. Right. At like the Wagon Wheel area.
Yeah.
You know, whatever music store that was.
Paint.
Yeah, in the same, and some massage parlor, and that was like about it in that center. Yeah, you know,
it's the biggest parking lot.
Even the biggest part. Hey, you always can find parking if you're going to American Music. If you wanted to go and take another glimpse of that Steve Vai guitar that was on the wall, you never had to like look for parking. You know, yeah, they had like this Steve Vai guitar that was like up on the wall like the entire time they placed in business. It was like Dayglow green, and like it was like, dude, if you buy this guitar, you don't need a case because there's a handle like in the guitar. Like there was a handle cut out in the guitar. It was so like broed out, you know?
That was wacky.
Yeah, it was wacky. It was always there, and that guy from The Choice never sold it. But I'm sure he tried.
Wow.
So I don't know. I would assume that he lived in Ventura or Oxnard. Because that would be a pretty shitty commute from Simi to work at American Music.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
So I think he lived here, but I don't know where the band was based out of. That was like, I don't know.
They were cool though.
Yeah, they were cool, and that was like No Motive's like second, like I don't know, the second time you kind of heard them on record. I'm not counting Localism because the 7-inch kind of came out like at the same time as Localism, if I remember right.
You just took a song from that.
No. The Localism song is a separate song.
Oh,
it's not on the 7-inch. But I don't know. I feel like maybe there was a wait before this like split came out. Like I was like looking forward to like getting a new No Motive song.
Yeah.
And then like, yeah, this True Reality song is like,
dude, it's so good.
It's fucking great.
The guitar works so good on that song.
Yeah, like they're so good as musicians. Like by this point, that's great.
Yeah.
Next band is Patient Zero. Again, another Ventura Krusty band, right?
Yeah.
Do you know anything about them?
I don't know much about them. No, when it comes to the Krusty bands, I don't know. There's like not enough information that I could get.
Is that like offensive? Like, should we be? I don't know.
I want to know.
Well, I'll ask John that.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Ask him. He would know, dude.
I think that like that's just what they were, right?
Yeah.
And we were like new school posers.
Yeah. They had roots, dude.
Yeah. They were the ones that kept it real, dude.
Yeah, dude. I think Krusty's always keep it real.
Yeah, I mean, I was the poser. I didn't have an Rotten ass patch.
Damn.
So Patient Zero, another Ventura Krusty Ripper. Fooey, they were before my time. But like, I believe that they were like big.
They were big. I don't know like how big, but dude,
but they were like a headliner.
They headline like every show.
Right. And I remember my friend like Mike Wolf, that was like his favorite band. And they put out an LP. They put out an LP and a 7-inch.
Mm-hmm. I think I like the 7-inch.
Yeah. Yeah, and fucking rad band name.
It's a good band name.
Fooey. But it's fun to say.
Yeah.
You know?
They're fun to listen to.
Silence Forever. Break the Silence. The next band.
Band is sick.
This is the band that I think might have been the Goods.
Yeah.
No?
I don't know. I just know they have the best recordings out of the Krusty bands.
And I think they did a 7-inch.
They did, and that's actually on Discogs. I got the art and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, it's good.
I think I need to get it again. Like, I think I might have it in my truck right now. I remember like buying it and then like it going under my seat and then it never coming out under my seat. So it's probably like warped.
Dude. Yeah, that's what happened to my Voice of the Fires 7-inch.
Well, I still got some of those.
Oh, good.
As long as it's the first one, right?
Yeah, the first one.
I got some of the first one. The second one, I only got one copy each, like for myself.
Yeah.
There's like two different. It's like there's only 100 pressed, and there's like two different covers of some shit. Yeah, it was some Euro dude. The same dude. He did like the Standing Around demo, the first demo with Aaron. And
what was it, like Break Even Point Records? Or something? Yeah.
Yeah, he did like the Standing Around demo when they were Aaron, Max, Corey, Todd, and Tony, like that demo. And then the Voice of Defiance, the second, what would have been our second record, and I guess ended up being the second record, but is sorry that it only came out like, yeah, I think he did 90 copies. It's like, I don't know. And then like, I don't know. I quit that band, and I quit like, that record came out like way after I was gone, and they like took me off. Like I wasn't on the record.
You played on it.
I played on it and like wrote half the shit.
Yeah, really.
You know, no. Josh Ortega was the new bass player of Voice of Defiance. And Josh is cool, and he was a good bass player. I can't remember his band. That's a band that's actually missing from your comp. We should find out.
Called?
That's what I can't remember.
Okay,
but you should ask someone because it's Phil. I want to say it's right after. You know what? Maybe it didn't make the 90s cut, though.
Okay.
It might be 2000. No. It had to be the 90s. They were kind of cool. They were like a pop-punk band.
Okay.
And I think it was him and Phil.
Okay. Sick. I mean, I'm down. Because there's a whole other comp that came out in the 90s with, like, Kenji.
Yeah.
And like, Bloodborne.
Okay.
Yeah. I forget what it was called.
And it's a full comp of 805?
Yeah.
Huh.
But it's like 98, 99.
Kenji's super cool. Do you know that guy?
No, I know the Kenji Shack. Is it really?
Yeah, it was his shack.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, it was like out like, if I remember right, this is a long time ago. I think it's just like out like past where there's nothing in El Rio anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like his family just had like some land out there, and there was a shack, and like they did shows there.
Yeah,
you know. But yeah, Kenji was a dude. I don't know if maybe he's not around here anymore, but he was a super nice guy.
Yeah.
Then we got the Unabombers, another band where I can say, I think this is the band that the Goods turned into. Every single one of these.
Dude, that band name is so good, though.
It's great because, like, but if you check Discogs, it's probably like their Unabombers number 17.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's got to be a million of them.
Probably.
You know, but yeah, another Ventura band. Like, of these bands, like, what stands out to you? Like, which one was, like, you think Silence Forever because they were, like, the recordings?
Yeah, they just sounded different. They were, like, ambient and, like, melodic.
Yeah.
And the recording was really good.
Were they Santa Barbara?
They were Ventura.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Verminicious Canids. This is a pre-Burning Dog band, right?
Yeah. Chick singer. It's pretty cool.
That is cool.
I like it.
And is it the same girl from Dick Circus or no?
I want to say so. They have very similar voices.
I like, if this is like another, is this my number 3 poser?
I don't know yet.
I'm racking them up.
Yeah.
But because like this is like the shit I should know. But I'm guessing, I think that the Dick Circus chick was from Wainimi. And Verminicious Canids would have been Wainimi. So I'm guessing same girl.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
But I could be wrong. But
John would know.
Oh yeah, John would know. You know, maybe I should have reversed these two on like got my line. But,
maybe.
But then I would have been all fucking monocle guy over here, like pretending I'm the expert. Like this is way more real. You know, like I don't know. It's funny because, you know, punk and hardcore is like the only genre of music where you can be like old and you're like 28.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
That's how I feel.
in life, it's like I'm 39, like I'm a young man, but like I'm fucking old, like for punk and hardcore.
Yeah.
But it's also funny because like, dude, I'll never be old school.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I'll be like at some hardcore show when I'm 70, and it's like, well, it didn't matter because I didn't get into like punk until 93 and hardcore till 96. You know what I mean? Like I didn't even see the fucking first version of Ignite. Like I didn't see till Zoli sang. You know what I mean? Like you'll never be fucking old school. You know, so I think of this as a more genuine way of doing this because you see my level of what I know this stuff for.
Yeah.
You know, I missed like a lot of it, and I was like, you know, the 90s. I'm 39 now, so 95. I'm 15, and
it's fucking young.
It's young.
Yeah, young and I mean, to say pre-internet.
Yeah,
too. That's
that
like
too.
I think that's like a big thing too.
Yeah. Everything felt more dangerous because you didn't see you weren't able to like sleuth everything.
Mm-hmm.
What's this place like? You know, like now if you like, oh, I want to go to a show at X Club.
Yeah.
You can just Google it, see what it's like. There's fucking 100
do.
photos there online. You know,
this looks nice.
You watch a concert from there on YouTube. You know, then it's like
you like mentally prep for the show.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Cool.
Back then, it's just like a shitty story. Like, you know, I remember one time we were going to go out and I really liked 88 Fingers Louie a lot. And the closest they were coming to Nard was they played the Anti Club in LA. And we went, I think it was 88 Fingers Louie and Good Riddance. And like asked someone like, hey, what's the Anti Club like? And they're like, oh, I went to a show there once and like the fucking the liquor store across the street got robbed, and like when the guy was running away, like he had to like, you know, get away, so he ducked into the club and then he ran on stage and like everyone was panicked because like they're trying to get away from this guy with a shotgun. I was like, fuck yeah, dude, I can't wait. Like I love the 8 Fingers Louie, you know, this is great. But anyway, that was a long tangent. Moving on to the Whereabouts. And this would not be a band I would think of, but they totally were. Like, man, I can't remember what they were called before they were the Whereabouts. But they were called Kelp.
Kelp?
Yeah. And I don't know if they recorded as that.
Cool.
Yeah. That's a pretty fucking cool name.
That's a cool name.
Yeah.
Because, like, they kind of have that seaweed sound.
Yeah, right? Maybe that's why they moved away from it.
Yeah.
It's like they sound a little too much like seaweed and they don't want to be called Kelp, but they actually, it's because their practice pad was off Kelp Street.
That's tight.
But yeah, and I don't know, they're cool, and then they
stand out the most on the comp because they're just like, they just sound like the Elliot. No, what that band, dude? They're just like an emo band.
They're an emo band,
yeah.
And they ended up being like kind of brother bands with no motive later. But like in the 90s, this is still like Sam Am. Yeah, that'd be a good thing. Yeah, they're a cool band. They were great, and the guys are still around. Like I don't know if Johnny's still doing anything, but
the other guy I was in contact with was Balt.
Yeah, Balt. Well, didn't Armand play? I think Armand was in that band, dude. Yeah.
That's sick.
I'm 99% sure.
Okay.
Yes, Baltazar and Armand. And Armand like records half the Ventura bands now.
Yeah.
And he's in Night Demon.
Sick.
So yeah, and just a fucking all around shredder and good dude. And yeah, and his parents used to employ me at Don's Euro Grill before they fired me for listening to Iron Maiden when we closed too loud. But it's okay. They warned me multiple times. But yeah, no, Armo, he's a fucking shredder, and he's killing it with Night Demon. So I'm so happy that guy like found something super rad. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Johnny, Armo, Balt, and Ian was the drummer. Mm-hmm. And Ian's a good drummer. And I don't know what happened to him. One Track Mind, that's like were they kind of like pop punk
Oh,
Ventura
yeah.
band?
They just sound
Were they a
like,
Christian band?
I don't know. That's a cool thing to get into, though. Hilarious thing to get into was like the amount of Christian bands that were around during the scene. Because I was really into that band Incomplete.
Okay.
And then I read their lyrics. I found their CD at a thrift store, and I read their lyrics. I was like, dude, this sucks. But they kind of inspired me to put the comp out. So it was like, there's a lot of bands that had that Fat Records sound. And, like, One Track Mind's one of those bands. Yeah, they're from Ojai.
Oh, cool.
And
they were from Ohio.
yeah,
I wonder if they were the guys that almost killed us once. Because, like, dude, I think they were. They were a super pop punk band, but they had some like shit kicker friends. And I can't remember, like, someone stole like Tony's cymbal somewhere, and I think we like went to get it. And I don't really remember this story. But yeah, we went out like, first of all, it might even not be this band, but I think it was because they're from Ojai, right? And we played a show. We thought they like stole our cymbal. So like we're like, fuck it, we're gonna go get it. Yeah. Like, you know, and they were playing like somewhere out in like the fields of Wainimi. And like, I just remember it being a thing. Like, we showed up to get the cymbal, and like, we like left not getting the cymbal, and like 40 people coming after us. Like, and I can't remember if like someone like shot off a gun or like just some like super redneck shit. You know,
That's crazy.
It was like something where like we were like, that was pretty, like, that, like, went, like, whatever it went, like, pretty dark, pretty fast, you know? Like,
they're like the happiest band, though.
Maybe I'm getting them wrong, but, like...
Those four tallies, dude.
I don't know, you know, but, like, it was, the time is wild, too, right? Because, like, dude, it's, like, punk making a resurgence, and, like, even the happy shit, like, people want to slam to.
Yeah.
Like, I remember one of the gnarliest, like, circle pits I ever saw was at Ventura Theater during Face to Face, because it was just like the whole pit was fucking Hell's Angels.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? And it's like, that's fucking terrifying for like a civilian kid, you know? Yeah. Like, but it's like, because there's a pit at a Face to Face show, but like, if you're thinking about Face to Face, you're not thinking like, oh, this is a show that like really hard dudes are going to come and like,
yeah,
you know, and,
but Pennywise
and mosh to. Pennywise is different because it's like a lot more into that surf culture.
Yeah.
And
but still the same type of, I mean, Face to Face is definitely like,
and Pennywise is faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pennywise is like, I mean, Face to Face, I wasn't thinking like that pit would be gnar.
No.
But I was like, I'm just going to sit this one out. You know? Sit this one out, dude. But, 3-point play. Who was that?
Sean Traylor. I work with that guy.
Okay.
He's a cool guy. He one day he just like said Madball while we were like stocking shelves. We work at Trader Joe's together. And he was like, Madball, what? And then he started talking about this band, 3-point play. He was in another band called This Moment.
Mm-hmm.
Super cool band. They sound like that whole like Shai Hulud style, like melodic hardcore. The 7-inch is good. They put out a 7-inch.
So this 3-point play band sounds like Shai Hulud?
Yeah.
Wow.
They have a cool...
And it's in the 90s. Do you know what year it landed on?
I want to say like 98, 99.
Yeah, late.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's cool.
You guys thanked them on the Stand Your Ground 7-inch. That's like also too, like I remember I was like going through your thank yous, like trying to find more bands to like throw on the same.
I wonder if that was like, did they have a really tall, like bald singer that was older than all of them?
Big.
Okay, I remember that. Man.
Yeah, big.
He lived on like Silver Strand. Because I remember when I booked Funeral Oration, they played Laser Star, and then they were going to come back on another tour, and I just couldn't get anywhere to do them. And I feel like that guy was going to let us do a house show at his house. Like, everything kept getting fucked up. Mm-hmm. And that was, like, an option. Like, I talked to this guy a lot at the time. Like, he was an adult and had a house and was, like, thinking about letting us, like, do the show there. You know, like, it was funny because, okay, there's Laser Star, and there's, like, another place, like, for kids kind of close to that area. Mm-hmm. Can't remember what it was. It was, like, not, like, laser shit, but maybe it was a bunch of, like, indoor slides and bullshit or whatever. Yeah. Remember Laser stopped doing shows, and we went in there. It was me and Aaron Belcher, and I was telling him, like, yeah, this band's coming out from Amsterdam, and they're one of my favorite bands, and I want, like, to book them, you know? And, like, the guy's like, well, how much money are you going to take? I was saying something like, I just need to make $300 from the show to pay the band. And they're like, well, how much are you going to take? And I was like, I'm not taking anything, dude. Like, I just want to do the show. Mm-hmm. And then, like, he looks at his, like, partner, and he's like, what do you think about the Sal? He's like, seems fishy. So then they didn't let us do the show because he's like, this something doesn't add up here. This kid's not trying to make money right now, you know. But anyway, that's another tangent.
Yeah, let me grab another beer.
Yeah, dude, grab your beer and I'll talk a little bit. Hit a light too if you can. You got dark on us. So the next band is Stand Your Ground, which we'll skip because it's another one of my bands. But we can talk about the pre-Zach era. And it starts out with, Bound by Honor, which I think was on... Was that on the demo and on the 7-inch?
Yeah.
This light is ugly as fuck. It looks like that aged me like fucking 10 years right now. Let me try. Whatever. Step back. But
getting interrogated, dude. I
know. Now it is like getting interrogated. That was on both records.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's that was cool. They did the demo. Voice was already gone, and it was so cool to have another hardcore band.
Yeah.
Like how we were talking about Dead Heat earlier, that like we don't feel jealousy.
Right.
Like it was the same thing.
You're stoked. Like there's another band that just kind of came out of Dead Heat called Combat Shock, and they just sound like gauze.
Okay.
And we're just fucking pumped.
It's like
more bands like good.
Yeah. I used to love that Rain on the Parade song that was like, one more band, one more zine, one more kid. It's all we need. You know, like I love that positivity. Like, I just need one more. Just one more thing. All we need. You know, fucking sick. And that's how I felt. I was like, cool, we're not alone.
Yeah.
Because Voice is around for a solid year, like playing like dog shit. I mean, like, because a lot of people have heard me talk about like how bad like the In Control shows were at the beginning. Like these Voice shows were like the worst. At least the In Control shows, like we're playing bad hardcore shows. Like, okay, we're playing a hardcore show and there's 20 people there.
Yeah.
At least it's a hardcore show. Like those Voice shows, we're playing like, we just wanted to play anywhere. So anywhere that would let us play, we played. Parties? Like, yes, we played like anyone's party. Like, and like everywhere. Like, oh, we're in Santa Paula, we're in Moore Park, we're in like fucking Santa Barbara, like everywhere, just playing like people's parties, and like people don't want to hear you.
Yeah.
Like, because it wasn't a fun band. Like Voice was like Scoops was trying to be Zoli, you know, and then like we were trying to be like somewhere between like Outspoken and I guess probably like Ignite, Uniform Choice-ish.
Yeah.
You know, like we were very like 90s non-metal hardcore.
Yeah. 90s non-mosh hardcore. You have like one mosh part.
Yeah. Yeah, which is like, which just straight lifted off a One Life Crew song. You know? That's like that.
I've noticed that too, especially with Tony's drumming, dude. Like, go!
Alright, you gotta talk to us, dude.
I love Oxnard. Sitting here in my Nimi.
Okay, I'm back.
Right, cool.
So, Standing Ground was just really exciting. Like, there's another band. Because, like, now, you know, like, those guys, like, they were so down. Like, Aaron and Todd, and we shared Tony. And Corey played, and Corey we'd known for a while then. And then Max. But like, those guys aren't going to go to every show Voice plays, right? Because who wants to go fucking, like, go to Maria's fucking birthday in Satakoy, where, like, no one wants to hear you, you know? So, like, so inevitably when Standing Ground started, it was like, sick. Now there's both of us.
Yeah.
Now we can play shows together.
Yeah.
And we're a thing. Like, this is like then we're building a scene instead of just having like a band,
Exactly.
you know? So that's cool. And then the second song is from When I'm Singing, yeah?
Yeah, and which I really wanted to put on here because that didn't even reach light. I feel like not a lot of people even heard that. No.
Well, we didn't put it out on purpose.
Right.
Yeah.
There's shit involved.
Yeah, we didn't put it on purpose. And actually, you might want to clear it with Todd.
Okay.
So.
All right, I'll do that.
Yeah. But I think I'll be okay with that song. That song is like, it's kind of got everything in it.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
So fucking rips.
Yeah, it's the first time of like Todd really like stepping up his songwriting.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Standing Around demo and the 7-inch are like very derivative. It's like Todd trying to like do a sound.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like on this demo, it's like the first time that Todd like really just like let it come out.
Yeah.
And especially that song. I mean, like the riffery is like,
the riffery is unreal.
Yeah, it's like how does hand move so fast, you know? But
yeah.
But he's been able to rip that hard. Like he played in a band called it predates Voice. It was called Last Chance.
Mm-hmm.
And it was him, Todd Scoops, who sang for Voice. And I can't remember who else. And they were kind of like hardcore-y, but like he was ripping them.
Mm.
Yeah. Like
they didn't have recordings though.
They had like one. We played like a show in like a backyard. I want to say it was like, fuck, it wasn't Roger's backyard. I don't know whose backyard it was, but there's like a recording, like a backyard recording.
That's cool.
So, but not legit, you know. Next is FAY, and they did 2 demos. Do you know what demo you got?
The second one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember I saw both versions of the band, and I thought the second singer was better live, but the first singer was better recorded. What's your take?
I haven't heard the first demo.
Okay.
Yeah, I only heard the second one, and I think it's rad. Like their whole sound, it's like just super unique. They're heavy. They have like some cool heavy parts, but they're still punk. That's what I like about like most of the bands on the comp. Is that it's like a lot of them are just punk bands with like randomly heavy parts.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
it's that whole like it's a sound.
Yeah,
like
seriously.
that Burning Dog, Clench Fist, FAY. Like it's a serious sound.
Yeah,
you know, like all those guys, they're friends.
Yeah,
so they're like in the same practicing
same pool
area. Yeah, same type of pool of people. So.
Just kind of like bank off each other. It's like almost like a one band with all these little bands in it.
Yeah, it's cool. I know what you mean, like, because you can't really say it's like new school punk, even though it's like a little influenced by it.
Yeah,
because it's like Meteor.
Yeah, exactly. I do like. It's just because I'm from the area. Like I just literally feel like FAY just like sounds like Whiny Me.
Yeah, like
it's like
that's what Whiny Me sounds like.
Like what happened with the original singer? He like beat the shit out of some dude. Like, or was the guitar player?
Bass player.
Yeah. There's like some like.
Yeah. So he was on both records.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. Fred put it on like every zine ever.
Yeah, I think he like sent. I was like, "Hey, Fred, send me photos," and he's just like, first photo was like the newspaper clipping of that.
Yeah, he like had to go to jail for localism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's FAY. Next up is Pig Alley, another band that actually from that era that put out a record, which is pretty cool. They put out a self-released LP. Remember the name of it?
Rock and Roll Mafioso.
That's right, Rock and Roll Mafioso, and it's on Discogs. You can look it up. And I saw Stacy actually the day that I did the first recording here with Joe for Podcast 1.
Cool.
He lives in San Diego now.
Oh.
He's like friends with Max. Like they're like, you know, dudes with kids, like family people. They have like family type parties, you know.
Yeah.
They like I've seen him around there. Like he's on like the punk rock family circuit. But yeah, they were a neat band. I really love their song on the Localism comp, and I never really listened to the LP.
It's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
They just sound like so one song will kind of, you hear a lot of Ramones, and the next song you hear a lot of Dead Kennedys, the next song you hear a lot of like, what the fuck is that?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And they all wore like full on suits.
Yeah, I saw them
They
several
played.
times. But yeah, they were definitely a different flavor going on
Yeah.
for the Nard. Moving on, another Ventura Crust band, Coat Hanger Kids.
Yeah, that band's actually was more popular than I thought. Like my boss at work was like, I told him about the comp because he was in a band called Red Light District,
Okay.
and he was like, "Oh, you know Coherent Kids?" I was like, "Yeah, I know one song from the Localism comp."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, dude, they were the shit. They were the tightest band." And he had like random photos of flyers, and they were always headlining all those shows.
Yeah.
But yeah, super cool band, chick singer.
Yeah. I don't know anything about them except that it's interesting that they didn't get caught up in like that Ventura Oxnard schism that was like going around like the local, like they were actually on the Localism comp, which is like interesting.
Yeah.
And cool. That's cool. They got represented. Retail price?
See Me Van.
Yeah. I was gonna ask.
The song's good.
This is kind of cool. So the comp is like, you're going the old Nardcore way of See Me to Santa Barbara.
Yeah, it's not just like Oxnard Ventura.
Do you have a Santa Barbara band represented on here?
No.
You got to have like the RKL adjacent band, right? So you can do.
I get something off Reactivate.
Because you have if you're doing See Me, that's like the Scared Straight band.
Yeah. And
now you got to go just a little more north. I think Silence Forever had a dude from Santa Barbara.
Okay, that'll count.
Yeah, so retail price. Another like Mohawk band, right?
Yeah. They just sound British. Yeah, they're fucking cool. I put them on there because I had John make me a list of like the ones that were most important, and he said that they were one of the most important punk bands of that time.
Mm-hmm.
Threw them on there.
Sick
band.
Destroyed Babylon. Do you know anything about them?
Danny Walker band.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So is this Danny Walker's one appearance on the comp?
Yeah. In terms of 90s band, Uphill Battle was a 90s band, I think. Or I think they were around for like maybe 99.
Okay.
But, dude, he fucking rips so hard on that song by Palmer. Or just the whole demo or release they have, just, dude, he hauls so much ass.
Danny Walker rips. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
So you are going to use the Stalling song from, so is this from the Conviction CD?
And
you didn't want to use Bailey?
No.
Dude, that song, talk about leads. That lead is sick.
Yeah, they have some good leads, and then halfway through the song, you're like, what?
Just like a 5 minute. Yeah, like wrap it.
It's dude.
But edit it, dude. Edit it in Audacity. Fuck it.
Black and Gray is a great song, though.
Black and Gray is a great song, but I'll tell you what, this is just another lesson of, I can understand how it's so appealing for old bands to want to re-record songs, but it's just like, it's not magical the second time.
No.
You know, like, because Black and Gray on the In Control LP, it has so much soul, and it cuts up that LP, and it makes that LP go from like, in my opinion only, from a really strong old school hardcore record to like a really special record.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, dude, Stalling 13, like hitting you with the pussy song. Like they're one of the first bands.
Still like hard, dude.
It's super hard, but it's still like that. Like it's like we say pussy song, like just it is what it is. But
but that's
it's hard.
You read the lyrics and you're just like, it makes you look at your life and you're like, fuck.
It's like the surface of a lake.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, like, but it's a slower, like more like super drivey, and it's just like, I don't know, it's perfect. And the re-recording of it, I just feel like it loses so much of the soul.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
And they're just called Stalag.
Well, that was kind of cool, right? Because like we're a different band. It was only Blake, right?
I think so. I think it's completely different members. I don't think Ron's even on it.
Okay, I think it was Ron's not on it for sure. Here's what I think it is. I think it's Blake, who's one of the guitarists, legit, and then I think it was Joey Libke, who's the guy who did Edge Records.
Okay, yeah.
So, and then I believe I'm gonna find out tomorrow because I'm gonna interview Larry. But I think Libke played on the Stalag demo, but he didn't play on In Control.
I heard about that. Joe told me about that.
I think Libke plays on the demo.
Yeah.
So
and that was like his to Nardcore.
Yeah, but the demo is like not special. That stuff is like Nard is like it. It got special when all those bands hit their LPs.
Right.
If you listen although I will say Ill Repute special from the beginning.
Yeah.
Have you listened to those 82 demos?
Yeah.
Okay. That shit is all amazing.
It's fucking good.
Like, but also the reason, okay, so the reason why I think they're good from the beginning is because they were the band that was meant to have that more generic hardcore sound. Where like all those bands, like, well, Dr. No started out and they were like way more generic. And they came into their own on the LP.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like the first LP is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know? And same with Stalag. Like their demos is very generic, fast hardcore. And In Control.
Recordings aren't great either.
Recordings aren't great, but the songs aren't that great.
No, the songs aren't great either.
And it's like, but the LP is like, this is the band.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? So, anyway. That's that. Moving on. Rainfall. I have no idea who this band is.
Rainfall. Kind of related to that whole, Missing 23rd Glass and Ashes crowd. They
was it some of the dudes from Glass and Ashes?
Yeah, I do think so. And they're super cool, dude. They like break up the comp. They're like that kind of like 3-point play style where they're really melodic, like almost like scramsy, like screamo-ish, I'd say, but heavy.
Cool.
Yeah, they're cool.
That's cool. I can't wait to hear them. And Peter Pan's Army.
Great band.
Yeah, very popular Ventura crusty band.
Even to this day, they're like out of like the 90s like punk bands. I feel like a lot of the people remember them today, and they're like, "Oh yeah." Like when I talk to some of my friends, they're like, "Oh, you put Peter Pan's Army on there?" It's like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, I did."
Yeah,
yeah.
And they were stoked, right?
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
And then another big one, Missing 23rd. They were huge out the gate. Like they had a 4-song demo and like they were slaying it.
Yeah.
You know? There's not much that can be said about Missing 23rd. They were just like the kings of probably the second half of the 90s here.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Them and No Motive, the two most popular bands. And chose a great song, Control Your Life, from the demo. Time Will Tell is from what?
That's from the Repeater 800 split.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and I'm not sure. I'm assuming. I don't know. I'll have to ask John, but I don't know if those are new recordings or not. Or if they're just. Because Missing 23rd, they put out like a couple demos. Like, I feel like they did a demo, then they did a 7-inch. Then they did a couple more demos like before they ever did that first LP.
Right. They did like that tape with like the dude and the American flag. Like, it's like demo, that tape, and then I feel like a 7-inch.
Yeah.
And then I forget what the 7-inch is called, and then LP on Mankind.
Well, I can tell you because I came prepared. How about that? The Missing 23rd. They did a demo in 95.
Mm-hmm.
They did another demo in 96. The 7-inch is 98. And then the LP is 98. The fuck? I feel like I left something off there. Maybe I didn't come fully prepared. But anyway. All right, so Missing 23rd rips. Moving on is Arch Enemy. And this is not the heavy metal band.
No, which I was very confused about because It's funny, like half these bands, I like meet them at Trader Joe's.
Right.
Like, members of these bands, like something will come up while I'm like beeping their groceries and bagging their shit, and I'll mention punk, and then we'll just be like thrown into this like pile of like punk and hardcore and like Nardcore shit. And so I met the drummer Mike Starr, and he's like, "Yeah, I was in a band called Arch Enemy," and I immediately went to like that like Swedish metal band. I was like, "What? They're like an 805 band?"
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But no, I found out they were like super important back then. They don't have any recording. They have a demo, and then they have the live at Moggs.
Okay.
And that's on YouTube too.
And you took it off that?
I took it off that.
So
yeah.
this is going to be a live song?
It's a good live song.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. That's rare.
Yeah. They're all mic'd up, dude. And tight.
Are they metal?
No. They're just punk rock.
Straight up punk band, huh? And then, I don't know this band either, the Handsome Devils.
Operation Ivy Worship.
Okay. And did they do anything else? Do you know who they are?
No, I don't know who they are.
Who did Joe or John give it to you?
Joe and John. They both talked him up.
Huh.
Yeah, I think John gave me the music, but Joe was like, no, Joe gave me the music, and John was just like, yeah, this band just like came through, this did a year's worth of good shows, and then boom, they're gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's super cool. That's what this is kind of all about, though, right?
Yeah, that's what a lot of these bands are like one and done bands.
Yeah.
And that's like the appeal, but also like the downfall, like most auction bands.
Well, it is just any youth movement.
Yeah. Right?
Like, I don't know. I mean, I've talked about this before, but like when you're 17 years old, 9 months is such a long time span. You know, where like when you're in your 30s or your 40s, like 9 months is like blink of an eye. Mm-hmm. You know, so you know, bands are around. Like Max has helped me out a lot. We work together, and we'll talk about these things because sometimes like we'll look on Discogs and think that things are wrong. Mm-hmm. Like it says in No Motive 7-inch is 96, but it was like definitely 95. And we'll talk about like these discographies, and I'll think to myself like, how long was I in like Against All Odds for? And like I swear to God, I think I was like maybe I was only in it for like 10 months. Like that might have been the whole band. Yeah, the whole band might have only been around for 10 months.
It was like fucking forever.
I know. I felt like it was like this legit band, like, but I don't think that band was even around for a year. It's just so weird because like it had to get like, you know, when you're doing like a discography, like you have these tentpole moments, and it's like there's only a certain time frame that Against All Odds could have been around. Yeah, if Voice started like before 97, and you know,
and you just forget. You just forget, and
it's just so weird. Yeah, so weird. And that wraps it because the last two songs are mine. It Doesn't Matter. Was my first punk band, and we recorded with John Lyons in Goleta, and like so we recorded for a demo, but because like No Motive came and put out that 7-inch, like we didn't want to just do a demo, we wanted to do a 7-inch, but like it's actually kind of hard to do when you're 15, 16. Yeah. So like we're idiots and like recorded this shit and it never came out because like we broke up before we did a 7-inch, you know, and it's like when you're young, you should just record it and put it out. Yeah. And not think about it. No. Just like go for it. Like, do it. Yeah. So like,
same with all my bands, like early bands.
Yeah.
Like, we had like fucking MySpace songs.
Yeah.
MySpace.
It's good.
Songs. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like until you're like to the level of doing like LP quality stuff, just get it out. Yeah. You know, yeah, it's so important to like work through it all. And so we were really lucky that we were on the Localism comp because otherwise it would have been like all gone. Because like, for instance, Against All Odds did the same thing. Mm-hmm. We're like, oh, we're going to put out a 7-inch. And that's like what that recording is for, and broke up again before like we did a 7-inch. It's like, we should just put out that fucking thing as a demo. Yeah. So stupid.
Let's make a tape.
Yeah. You know, but what are you going to do? And then the last song on here is Against All Odds. So finally we'll be on tape. Oh, making the decision that I should have made when I was 16.
Now, is that the riff from Nardcore?
On here?
Yeah.
Maybe.
It sounds
it's just 3 notes.
It's the same riff, dude.
It's got to be. That's funny, dude. There's a lyric on the song that says, 1,000 people die on a jet, but marijuana hasn't killed one person yet.
Are you fucking serious?
What jet holds 1,000 people, dude? Like, that's like straight up pre-internet. Like, I didn't have an encyclopedia. I couldn't like look up like, hey, how many people are on a jet?
Check your shit.
I
You're
know.
just like 1,000 people sounds legit.
I know. I was like, dude, like a big ass jet. Like, I've seen those like 2-story jets. There's gotta be 1,000 motherfuckers on there, you know? But yeah, no, I guess like a jet holds up to like 300 people or some shit.
I can drink. I have a fucking drink, but it doesn't mean I can't think.
Yeah, that's probably a generic line that everyone's used, right?
Are you straight edge?
No.
Oh.
That's like, this is like an anti-straight edge song.
Oh, tight.
Because everyone around me was, and it's just like, that's a fad, you know?
You don't give a shit about your fucking trends.
Yeah, it was. But Against All Odds it was a interesting band for me to be in. You know, like, so we did It Doesn't Matter, and when it wrapped up, like, I won't tell. I'll tell the story off. But anyway, so that goes through. So the Reflections tape.
It's the whole thing, dude. Tape or LP. It's either gonna be tape or fucking.
Ooh, LP's ambitious.
It is. I mean, if I could like scrape in like 2 G's.
That's what it would cost.
I mean,
2 G's without an insert.
Oh, I make the inserts anyways.
Yeah.
That's like where this whole thing came out of. Like, it was just I like making flyers.
Yeah.
And then I was a nerd for all this Nard shit, so I figured I'd have a project to encompass both.
I think it's rad.
Yeah.
I'm like legitimately excited by it. And did it seem like Joe and John are both excited?
Oh yeah, they're just like
yeah. I mean, like it's just like so happy when people do stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
that's what it's all about. It's just like, just get inspired and fucking like pull the trigger
and do it.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, that's kind of what I'm trying to do with this thing. Is like, if I don't know, what's the worst that can happen?
Exactly. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I really liked that Turned Out a Punk podcast.
Yeah.
A lot, and like, it was just like, man, I love how Damien interviews people, like, and his personality is infectious. I love like how big of a record nerd he is. But I was like, I even sent an email once because he used to talk a lot about like the Mystic stuff, like on the earlier shows.
Oh,
and I wrote him, I was like, dude, you should interview Tony Cortez, you know?
Yeah.
And he never wrote me back or nothing. But it's like, anytime that you tell someone else what they should do,
yeah,
you should just fucking go do
just
it.
do yourself.
Yeah, so it's
exactly.
like, dude, I'm going to interview Tony Cortez tomorrow. You know what I mean? So that's what it's all about. That's what I wanted to do.
Just doing it, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just got to do it. And then, like,
if you love it, do it.
Yeah.
Or it's not going to happen. You're going to be like, oh, I wish I fucking, like, I love, like, Oxnard shit. Like, I wish I started that band. Or, like, I wish I represented the city in whatever level you wanted to, or whatever. So I'm just stoked. It's just going to take time. It's like DIY, it just takes time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, best of luck with it. I can't wait till it comes out.
Yeah, man.
All right. Let's wrap this up.